Hello and welcome to episode number 7 of this playthrough of The Witness. In the last episode we finished off the reflector puzzles and we managed to bend the laser beam here so that it points towards the mountain. So we now have two lasers pointing at the mountain in the background. One from the mirror puzzles and one from the reflector puzzles. In today's episode, I want to go have a look around for new zones to explore. And I want to start here with the windmill, because I saw when we were running past to the laser point there that there was a panel on the door, and I want to see if this is one we can solve. And it looks like it is just a panel with a hexagon rule. So the hexagon rule we learned in our second episode, and the hexagons mean that every path that you make from start to finish, with this being the start, this being the finish, that path needs to go through all of the hexagons. So in this case, it's kind of obvious that this is a windmill pattern of the four sides of our windmill. Now we have a route down. And here we have another panel with 4 hexagons, and I can either solve it like this with this end point, or I can solve it like this with this end point. That activates this white cable. And what is happening outside? Our windmill has started turning. That is one solved. And we can see, if we look at the windmill, there's one end point, 2 end points, and then here a third. And if I remember correctly, there are 3 solutions here. One with a 90-degree solution. Damn. I think I already messed up. Yeah. So I have to get back off that side for a 180 solution. So here 90 degrees, 180, and then here 270 degrees. but sometimes the game makes it hard to get off of these connections. Ah, damn it. Yeah, so it's kind of actively making me not get off on this left side. Perhaps my perspective is not 100% right, and I need to be a bit closer. It's not letting me get off. But it must be that is the solution. What if I'm on this rock? Can I get on? No, doesn't seem like it. Perhaps just standing even closer. So the only side I can get off to start is that one. So this one is no problem. But it's the second one that keeps messing me up. Get off, get off, get off. Ah, damn it. Okay, let's stay on the second one for another turn. And try it again. Damn. Okay, okay, okay. It's telling me no. Okay. I believe there was another one. if you switch this panel inside to the other side now, the flaps of the windmill will start turning to the other side, or oh no, they just go at a lower tempo. Perhaps that's what I needed then. Oh no, they do switch to the other side. It just takes a while for them to get going, I think. No? Maybe I need to go farther back instead of closer. No, it's not working. Okay, I'll screenshot so that I can come back at a later time. I don't want to drag this on too long. I did think that doing this actually turned the windmill to the other side, but apparently I was wrong there. So let's go downstairs and see what we can find. We have a secret tunnel. And we have a locked door. Is there any indication where we are right now? We also have a path up above from where we are. And a window that shows us that there is a room inside. And then a puzzle with also a mechanic that we know. That is the one to separate the white squares from the black squares with a line. So I think a solution would be this. To create a section of the panel where all of the white squares are separated from the black ones. And then here we have a panel with hexagons that look suspiciously like one place we found in the bunker that had a pamphlet with a drawing, and that looked more or less like this. I'll show you what I mean. So this was the screenshot that I took. So we start somewhere on the outside and then kind of snake our way to a point on the, well, not exact opposite, but on the mirror line through start and end point. So let's see if we can find that pattern here. So there are only two starting points, this one and this one. So it must be starting here, which means our mirror line would be this line, and this would be the end point where we end up. So if we snake like this,
well, that's no better a solution than any of the others, is it? So, have we learned anything from this look at why the world turned out the way it did that's of any use to us in our future? Something, I think. That the key to why things change is the key to everything. How easy is it for knowledge to spread? And that in the past, the people who made change happen were the people who had that knowledge, whether they were craftsmen or kings. Today, the people who make things change, the people who have that knowledge, are the scientists and the technologists who are the true driving force of humanity. And before you say, what about the Beethovens and the Michelangelos? That at best, the products of human emotion, art, philosophy, politics, music, literature, are interpretations of the world that tell you more about the guy who's talking than about the world he's talking about. Second-hand views of the world, made third-hand by your interpretation of them. Things like that, as opposed to this. Know what it is? It's a bunch of amino acids, the stuff that goes to build up a worm, or a geranium, or you. This stuff's easier to take, isn't it? Understandable. Got people in it. This, scientific is hard to take.
got him.
Ideology. And leaves only what is demonstrated.
Also, I believe there was one here.
And the reason why so many people make thinking about
too late, I think.
Is because, thanks to science and technology, they have begun to know that they don't know so much, and that if they are to have more say in what happens to their lives, more freedom to develop their abilities to the full, they have to be helped towards that knowledge that they know exists and that they don't possess. And by help towards that knowledge, I don't mean give everybody a computer and say, help yourself. Where would you even start? No, I mean trying to find ways to translate the knowledge, to teach us to ask the right questions. See, we're on the edge of a revolution in communications technology that is going to make that more possible than ever before. Or, if that's not done, to cause an explosion of knowledge that will leave those of us who don't have access to it as powerless as if we were deaf, dumb, and blind. And I don't think most people want that. So what do we do with that? I don't know. But maybe a good start would be to recognize within yourself the ability to understand anything, because that ability's there, as long as it's explained clearly enough. And then go and ask for explanations. And if you're thinking right now, what do I ask for? Ask yourself, if there's anything in your life that you want changed. That's where to start.
Okay, so these are the kind of very meta puzzles that we will also encounter. So you can see here that there's a frame around this window or this opening, and one point in the film showed a picture in an art book that matches up exactly with this part of a circle to form one of the environment puzzles. So the game is that sneaky that like 3 minutes into a video, it will give you a few seconds where you can solve this puzzle. Now there was another one that I was looking for the right perspective and the right point. You can see another green part of a circle here. So I'm going to play the recording again for myself. I'll probably cut it out of the video and just show you where this matches up, so that you don't have to sit through the whole thing again. I'll leave that just to myself.
Or you. This stuff's easier to take, isn't it? Understandable. Got people in it. This, scientific knowledge, is hard to take because it removes the reassuring crutches of opinion, ideology. It leaves only what is demonstrably true. And the reason why simple.
Okay, I've got it. Great.
Thanks to science, they have begun to know that they don't know so much, and that if they are to have more say in their lives, more freedom to develop their abilities to thought, they have to be helped towards that knowledge that they know exists and that they don't possess. And by help towards that knowledge, I don't mean to give everybody a computer and say help yourself. Or even stop. No, I mean trying to find ways to translate the knowledge, to teach us to ask the right questions. See, we're on the edge of a revolution in communications technology that is going to make that more possible than ever before. Or, if that's not done, to cause an explosion of knowledge that will leave those of us who don't have access to it as powerless as if we were deaf, dumb, and blind. And I don't think most people want that. So what do we do about it? I don't know. But maybe a good start would be to recognize within yourself the ability to understand anything, because that ability is there, as long as it's explained clearly. And then go and ask for it. And if you're thinking right now, what do I ask for? Ask yourself if there's anything in your life that you want to know. That's the step.
Okay, we have reached the end of the second run of the video. I've solved the green puzzle as well now, and let's go have a look on the other side. Now I noticed while the rest of the video was playing that I see a bunch of vines here that look a whole lot like there is a pattern, but I could not find a circle to start yet. So perhaps we need to be on this walkway that is above the theater in order to start that puzzle, because I see the vines run all the way down there. So that does look like it could be another environment puzzle, but there's not really a circle to start from, or at least not from this perspective. Now, on the other side here, we have panels with parts that we have not learned yet. So this one, for example, we have not learned about. And on the other one, we have these with kind of Tetris pieces that we also don't know yet. So we need more rules in order to solve these puzzles. Oh, but there is a panel here. And I believe we did figure out what the mechanic was to solve this. So the triangle, if there's one triangle, that means that the solution has to have only one path or one side of all four sides that is touching this one triangle. So for example, this would be a valid solution because now only this side of the triangle is touching, and I think that is the only solution, because if you were to go here, you have to have a second side. So here there's two touching, so you have to start this way. You cannot go here, or you have also two sides touching. So there's only really one solution to the puzzle. So we have to go back out the way we came from the windmill. And there's a bunch of paths now that are still blocked. Now, since we have kind of figured out that puzzle with the triangle, I do want to have a quick sprint back to the castle at the very start and solve that little panel that we had in the back there, just for completionist's sake. Oh, wait. Remember that I saw this machine part, but we were too close. But now, if I click at it from a distance, you can see sparks on it. So it is a puzzle. But what is the correct perspective? Aha! Seems like this is the correct perspective. And which obelisk does it go to? Is it the one here? I see a few sparks. Yes, okay. So that's the one up here that we have found. So I'll be on the lookout here on the left side, because we have already opened the door over here. That should give me a quick way back to this panel. Then we have to go from here. So either I come from this corner, but that would mean I have to take two edges from this triangle, or I come from here. So I think this is the solution. So I'm not sure if anywhere later in the game it will teach you about this mechanic with the triangle. I think it's just these loose panels that are strewn all around the world that teach you this mechanic with the puzzle, or with the triangle for the puzzle. There's a little nook in the grass here. Don't know if we can get to it. We have this high wall of rocks. If I can get to the other side. I don't know if there's anything hidden here, but this path looks very suspicious. Oh, it's a dog. And nothing else, just a dog. Looks like a wood carving or something. Okay, we have a little Easter egg. Or does this indicate something? The dog looking at the sky or at the trees? I don't know. But I'm just gonna take a screenshot anyway and see if I have any ideas what the dog could mean for later on. Okay, I think it's time to search for another area. Now, we have this village that we're in, the ruins, and there's a whole lot of puzzles in this village, but I know from playing the game before that it's more of an end game area where you combine your knowledge of all the different areas in the game to solve all of these puzzles. So, for example, here we have the black and white squares, but we also have these yellow pieces that we don't really know yet what to do with. So I'll leave this area for now, and I'll follow the water line and see if I can find more panels. Okay. We have a panel here, and I think we know what to do with this. Looking at the palm trees in the background. So I'm trying to enclose all of the palm trees, but not more than what we see there. Okay, this cable has activated. Something in here. Aha, and this is something that we have not learned yet. So this was, for example, one of the puzzles to test mechanics that you've seen before. The panel that has activated is another mechanic that we do not know yet. I would be able to solve it, but I want to show you with the rules that we learned. So let's just keep following along the coastline and see where we can get ourselves to. So we have what looks like a temple up there, and also this island. So perhaps let's follow the coastline first and have a look what's on this little, not island, but peninsula, I believe the correct word is, if it has water on 3 sides and one connected land bridge. I believe in English then it's a peninsula. More beautiful scenery there, a jungle landscape, and we see that we're getting closer to the mountain now. We have some buildings in the background. And what do we have here? Some driftwood. We have a sunbed. With a towel. And then a napkin with a glass of water. So there are signs of life, but we'll only see signs, and the only really living thing here that we see is ourselves. So I'll just explore a little bit, let my curiosity guide me. Let's go back to the path. I believe this, or does it split up? Oh, kind of a dead end. Now, why is there a dead end? Why? I'm trying to look for circles, perhaps. This cloud here is suspiciously circular. Okay, let's follow the path up to these ruins, or at least stone walls. And what is here in the middle? A statue. Reaching for a goblet. And then the shadow of it is the man having the goblet in his hand, but in reality it's too far away. He's stone, cannot reach it. It's kind of a cool art piece. Now, is it part of a puzzle? Because there's this whole island. I can't jump or anything. Does the man have any circular parts about him? Anything when we look up, or in the trees, or from a distance here? Okay, I'll take a screenshot. Color me suspicious of everything now. Because why the hell is this little peninsula here if there's nothing except for an audio recording?
O Lord God, helper of those who seek you, I see you in the garden of paradise, and I do not know what I see, because I see nothing visible. I know this alone, that I know that I do not know what I see, and that I can never know. I do not know how to name you, because I do not know what you are. Should anyone tell me that you are named by this or that name, by the fact that one gives a name, I know that it is not your name. For the wall beyond which I see you is the limit of every mode of signification by names. Should anyone express any concept by which you could be conceived, I know that this concept is not a concept of you, for every concept finds its boundary at the wall of paradise. Should anyone express any likeness and say that you ought to be conceived according to it, I know in the same way that this is not a likeness of you. So too, if anyone, wishing to furnish the means by which you might be understood, should set forth an understanding of you, one is still far removed from you. For the highest wall separates you from all these, and secludes you from everything that can be said or thought, because you are absolute from all the things that can fall within any concept. Nicholas of Cusa, 1453.
Okay. Yeah, but what do you say to that? Well, the purpose of this little peninsula is eluding me. I keep looking at the clouds, thinking that there could be a puzzle there. For example, this is a very rounded edge in the blue sky. And I'm trying to see if there's any angle that allows me to make it into a puzzle. But let's have a look here by the beach. So we have more driftwood. These mossy rocks and what looks like a path. Aha. Little puzzle panel. So if the theory is right, this is wrong, this would be correct. Okay, I know where this one leads. But I just want to have a look here by the coastline before I go on there. And see what this now does. We have a little boat. And not only do we have a little boat, we have a map of the island. Now, just to have a look where we have been, we are right now over here with the jungle tree on our right side. We have the little temple. Then over here we have that peninsula that doesn't really have a mechanic. You cannot see any red symbols on there. Here we have the town with the large tower. Here we have the branching paths. Let me see if I can get closer so you can have a better look. Fortunately, I cannot click on it then. So we have the branching path with the windmill that you see over there. Then in the south, you see the castle wall where we started. And you also see here the hexagon shape and the colored and not colored squares that we have already solved. So those are the two mechanics that you can learn there. Right outside of the castle wall, here we have the hangar building, where we had the mirrored puzzles, and then the little peninsula that also had those mirror puzzles superimposed with the hexagons and the reflection in the water. Then we have also gone to this light temple or sun temple, where we saw this wheel shape, the hexagonal wheel shape that we have also solved. And so if we have a look here at what is left, we have done more or less this left side of the island. We still have a lot to do in the village, but there's also a lot of other mechanics left to learn. Now what you can do from this boat is have like a shortcut. If you don't want to run, you can set different endpoints. For example, this would take you to the town. If you were to go this way, this would lead you to that hangar where we had a black panel that we could not activate. And so this is kind of like another way to get around the island. And also important to know, a lot of puzzles are on the outside of the island while you're on the boat. So I'll be doing that in another episode later on. But I do want to explore this path here, hidden in these mossy rocks. But I will do that in the next episode. So thank you all for watching. Today was a bit more about exploration, trying to look at a few corners, bits and bobs on the island. And I want to thank you for sticking with me through those moments. They might not be as exciting as more puzzle-heavy parts, but I see them as part of completing the game. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another episode.